Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we are taking oyster shells and turning them into beautiful napkin rings. It's a very easy DIY. I think you get a lot of bang for your buck, so I hope you'll stick around and join me. Some of the shells had some dark spots, some darker than others. And so to correct this, I went in with some white chalk paint, which is what I had on hand, and applied 1 or 2 coats, whatever was needed, to create a white, clear canvas to start with. I took the paintbrush and spread the paint out throughout the surface area of the shell. That way there wasn't a round white circle and it wasn't so obvious that I did paint it. The next thing you want to do is, once you pick out the napkin that you want to use, you want to separate the top printed part of the napkin from the bottom part, which is probably more of the weight of the napkin, and just kind of separate the two. And it's a little tricky getting started, but once you do, it's really easy to pull it apart. And just go ahead and remove the backing from the napkin and pull it completely off. In picking out a napkin print, you want to make sure that the image that you're selecting will fit onto the oyster shell. So I believe I ordered 3 to 4 inch oysters, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut as close as I can to the hydrangea. Here I'm just trimming away some excess paper. Before I glue it on with the Mod Podge, I just want to make sure that the image fits nicely on the shell, and I have just a little bit of excess here, so I'm just going to snip that off and make sure it all fits, and it does. Now it's time to glue on the image to the shell, and I used the gloss finished Mod Podge, and I actually like that because my paint was very flat. So just use whatever finish you prefer. And I went in with 1 coat directly on top of the shell, then I placed my napkin image on top, and then I went in with a 2nd coat on top of the image, and that's all you need, really. One thing I was wondering before I did the project was if the white tissue paper around the image would be visible, but actually once you apply the Mod Podge, it blends in really nicely and you can't really distinguish the tissue paper on top of the oyster shell. Sharing that for those of you also wondering the same. Here I was noticing some of the paper from the napkin was starting to kind of gather and just kind of create, just a few lines. All I did was take my finger and just kind of dab it, rub it, smooth it out, and it worked just fine. And there was one that didn't completely smooth out, and it still looked fine. In searching for a gold leaf marker pen, I wanted something that had a very strong metallic finish so it would look as much like real gold leaf as possible. I was very happy with this pen that I found on Amazon. And to trim the edges, you can go as thick or thin as you prefer, but the finish and the overall look really elevates the oyster shell and I think makes it really elegant. I'll have links in my description for those of you interested in this DIY. When deciding what to use for the actual napkin ring itself to apply the oyster shell to, I was going to go with just a regular round seagrass ring, but then I remembered these decor beads, and they're really small. They're only like $7 on Amazon, and they worked out perfectly. Once I decided the actual size of the opening for the napkin ring, I cut the tassels off, pulled off a few beads, counted, and make sure you count for the same number of beads for each napkin so they're all uniform. And again, they worked out perfectly. To apply the beads to the oysters, I just used a hot glue gun. And then to elevate the overall finished look, I decided to paint the very first bead on each side gold, and it really did elevate the look and make it very elegant. I'm really happy with these and how they turned out. Easy, but beautiful results. And I apologize for the background noise. I filmed this before we left town, but we're at the beach and outside it was too windy, and I'm in the lobby and there obviously are a lot of people around, so my apologies for the background noise. I first tried regular gold metallic paint that I had on hand at the house. It turned out much brighter yellow than the gold that I used with the marker. So the marker pen did work out. If you don't want to get paint on your fingers, I suggest you use gloves, but it didn't take too long and the match is perfect, obviously, and it looked the best.
but